that shirt so I strangle you. Why does everything you wear look like it's bearing a grudge, darling? You've got a wardrobe full of little murderers. Look at them. Look at them.
Hi. Welcome to, what are you wearing? I'm Velma from Velma Vintage. This is...
I'm Adrian of Wizen Services. Hi.
We're here today to talk about,
jackets.
We did it!
We did it! High five.
So we're here to talk about jackets and what people are wearing as jackets in New York City specifically.
I think so.
Ish.
I think jackets are, well, we could compare and contrast. But...
I mean, I think this topic kind of works in sort of New York City or any sort of place where you walk around as a culture and get places versus just go to your car.
Sure. It's more
less
of a walking culture than a driving culture.
Because as we talk about a lot in the shop, clothes are so much of a statement about yourself. But in the winter, I think in New York City you have a black coat.
Yes, usually you have a black coat.
A Canada Goose.
I don't have a Canada Goose.
Or
a camel coat.
But like that's what you see.
Or like a trench coat
or
of some
a
kind.
camel coat.
Yeah.
Occasionally you'll see somebody in a red coat.
I love it. I love it when I see a red coat on the train. Yes. There's nothing better, really.
There's nothing better.
But, you know, it's like I'm from the Pacific Northwest and everybody out there wears a North Face jacket, which they're comfortable. I get it. They come in many colors and they are water repellent. But
has Canada Goose replaced North Face as a thing?
In the Pacific Northwest? I haven't noticed that to be true. They're pretty down the Patagonia / North Face. This is not an endorsement, by the way. I personally don't. Apologies to anyone who has a North Face jacket. I'm open to being...
Or a Canada Goose.
You have a Canada Goose, right? Yeah. And I mean, I have an Eddie Bauer, so I really can't judge.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't like the way it looks on me, but if it's hailing sideways, I'm going to put that shit on.
I don't really know. That's all you kind of get in New York. I think that's kind of all you get anywhere. And it's... Yeah.
What's the best coat you've ever seen in New York? I know the one that changed my life that I saw. Do you want to go first?
You tell, yeah.
It was some kind of art event, and this person it was like a floor-length quilted down jacket, but it was black corduroy. I was like, what the fuck is even going on? Like, this is the best jacket I've ever seen. I mean, I've seen obviously many other beautiful jackets, you know, since, but that one has stuck in my mind. Like it's I'll never forget that jacket. Yeah.
I don't know that I necessarily do, but like, it's one of the sort of drab things about winter in that that's all you get. You have your coat, and that's the coat you wear for every occasion that represents who you are. And whereas in the summer, of course, you get to see all of any outfit you put on. You get to see it.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
You know, and you don't.
The jacket is your
It's every single day.
It's the pizza box of your outfit.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's been so just, maybe in all cities too. Like you have your black, you have your camel, and you have your Canada Goose. Your Canada Goose, your North Face, your puffy jacket. I guess I will just lump a puffy jacket in there. I don't know what the alternative is either. And it's a shame to be able to, in the winter, as far as like defining your own style and defining who you are, and being like, well, this is like this is the one item that has to define who I am for X amount of months out of the year.
Right.
And you don't get to have like 50 jackets to be like, to dress up every day differently in.
Sure. There is one jacket I'm thinking of. I was talking to a friend about it recently. Do you recall when there was, I would say North Williamsburg / Greenpoint, if you started to smell Santal, I don't know if you're familiar with that fragrance. It's a Le Labo fragrance. if you started to smell it in the distance, if you looked up and looked around, you would often see someone wearing like a very specific cut of camel coat. It was almost like it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that because I remember it being in the shop.
Yeah.
Everybody wanting, like, describing this coat to
Right.
me.
Yeah.
And I
Did
always,
you have some at the time? Or you...
yeah, they're all gone now.
Yeah.
And,
They bought them all.
you know, but nobody wore them last year because last year it was all,
What was last year?
wasn't it the Mob Wife leopard?
Oh God. Well, there were a few. I mean, like at least from what I was consuming or like taking note of just on social media or whatever, there was definitely Mob Wife, but then there was also like clean girl aesthetic, which kind of, yeah. But I mean, it kind of meant
Yeah.
more business casual. Almost.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know what this year is going to bring. We
Do you want to make
We
some
ju-
predictions? We should make some
we-
predictions.
we just
You go first. I'll
started
start.
getting cold.
That's
We're
true.
filming this. What? It's mid-November.
It's mid-November, but we've had a string of like 3 days of 40-degree weather, so that's
It
winter.
just got cold,
Mhm.
so we are all just starting to put our coats on
Right,
now.
right.
Which
Well,
I
guess-
mean,
I
my
guess the-
prediction is like we have climate change and we don't have
Sure.
any more. Like by next year, we are not going to have an episode about coats.
Oh, wow. But I mean,
But I
guess
have
we
so
should
many
brace ourselves for
coats.
that. What is your favorite coat that's in your wardrobe? I know which one mine is, but
I brought several.
okay.
Oh
Oh, you're gonna put them on.
yeah.
Do you want to describe them?
So
Yeah, okay.
I have a couple of them, and we'll go with my Mob Wife coat. Now, my Mob Wife coat.
You have a Mob Wife coat? How did I know?
So,
Okay.
I have a Mob Wife coat,
Yes.
and I actually really hate wearing it. It was like, I think 5 years ago, like leopard or like fake leopard print was a thing, and then it kind of like dipped off a little bit, and then it picked
Sure.
up again last year. And I don't ever dress for the trend. I dress because I like the piece,
Right.
and I find in some way that it's sort of classic or suits me.
Right. Which is the
As-
whole sort of spine of this show that we're
Yes.
doing, right? So,
And so
Yeah.
anytime I find that a piece of something I have has become trendy, I will wear it less.
oh, interesting. Going
And
against
so-
the grain.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, my Mob Wife coat, I'll do that one first since we mentioned the Mob Wife coats.
Okay.
And it's not really like, it's just a fake leopard coat.
I love
And it
love
was either my grandmother's or my great grandmother's.
Okay. If it was your great grandmother's, it probably would have been real. I mean, I know leopard. You're not going to go like kill a leopard, but I feel like obviously real fur was far more common.
So, well,
in that
you'll
era.
see, well, maybe yes, maybe no, but
Yeah.
you'll see like why the cut of it,
Mm.
it's not real. So I will be right back.
Wait, I have one more question
Uh-huh.
about fur coats specifically.
Oh.
Real fur
Oh,
coats.
well, we're gonna hold that one because I have also a real fur coat too.
Okay.
So we'll segue.
Oh, we'll save it for
we'll-
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm in the dressing room. Just so you
don't
know,
have to
I'm
keep
in.
talking because we'll probably cut that. We'll just.
Yeah,
probably
okay.
cut. So like, so you don't have.
So I don't have
feel
to-
the pressure of
okay.
talking.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that thing is great. That thing is
Okay,
great.
so-
Ooh, I love the shoulders. I like how
We
it's-
will have a whole episode about different things.
This is
Sort of
rad.
pass me the other one.
What is it lined with? Sherry?
So it's lined with.
This
So here we go. So this is
great.
the coat, and you can see it's very 1940s, 1930s, even maybe a little 1920s. It's got these gigantic sleeves,
Those are great. Yeah.
right? And these very box. There's no belt or anything to close it, so you just have to hold it closed.
Nice.
And
Can I
this
try it
is
on?
this
Okay.
is my Mob Wife.
It is
coat,
very
and
Mob
it's-
Wife. Yeah, the shoulders.
And it's not, you know, it's like it's like on that like sort of like cusp because it's got like the length of it is sort of that almost Mob Wife
Mhm.
length.
You know what it reminds me of? You've seen Moonstruck, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's very Sharon Moonstruck. She's got some amazing jackets
So
in that movie.
this coat is also reversible.
Oh, it is. Well, okay,
So
let's
you
do
can
that. Go ahead and
actually
reverse it then.
So, but
Go
here,
ahead.
you want to try it on this way,
Should
or
I?
do you want to try it on
I'll
the other
try
way?
it on the other way so that we give the people what they want.
So, and that's kind of like what's spectacular about this coat. And I can't tell you how many soaks in the tub this went through to.
Oh, to get the smell out, like the cigarette.
Mm,
Please tell me it
it was-
smelled like cigarettes, because I feel like I want to
I have a-
believe that the
I have
person
a
who
fur
originally
coat.
owned this
I have
was
a
just
fur
a
coat
chain
that
smoker.
does.
You what?
I have a fur coat from a family member. I didn't bring it with
Oh,
me
this
today
is-
because it would have been godly
This
heavy.
is not from your grandmother.
This
or it
is
is.
this is.
Okay.
This is not the one that was chain smoking.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was my great aunt. She was chain smoking.
Okay.
So.
Chain smoking, not good for textiles, but great for backstories.
Mhm. And so, so this is why this is not real fur, because like you're switching it in.
I think I
to
like the
out.
leopard side better, but
Oh,
just
yeah,
for
the leopard
posterity,
side-
I will
yeah.
try this on. Is this too low a ceiling for me?
No,
Okay. Oh, this is really nice.
right?
I like her. Oh, I like that. Oh, you get the.
Uh-huh.
This is very Peg Bundy for
Oh,
me.
Whoa.
This is very.
Whoa. This is.
I think I have a.
So it doesn't. I always think that it really doesn't do the whole
How does
mob
the
wife
collar
thing.
work on this? I guess because it's been worn.
Yeah.
This is, I love the sleeves.
I always. Yeah. Right. The sleeves are great.
Yeah.
Very
cool.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
it
little
definitely-
warm for me now, but
It definitely does mob wife for you, and I feel like
Yeah.
because I'm smaller,
you smell.
it doesn't do
Yeah.
the whole. It doesn't exactly mob wife it on me.
I feel
as
like it
well.
mob wifes you. I like
Yeah.
mob wife as a verb.
Yeah, I mean I'm not against it, but I wear this a lot because it's really warm and I love the cut of it. But I love the cut of almost anything that's sort of like that classic 20s to 30s,
Right. Very angular.
super angular, super tailored cut.
Stay
and
tuned
so-
for our episode about shoulder pads, because I
Yes.
feel like that theme is going to come back
Precisely.
around.
So, but I tend to not wear this
Mm.
because it's like it's too trendy right now, and I just don't really. I just don't like hopping on a trend. And,
That's fair.
Which is silly because it's a beautiful, beautiful
It's
coat.
gorgeous.
Now,
but-
sure, the whole topic of faux versus real.
Yes. So let me know when you want me to ask you the real fur
Go ahead.
question.
Go ahead.
It's more about the production of fur coats, and I was wondering if you would know, because you are a vintage. You have a vintage collection, obviously. Did they, like, for instance, with like leopard print or animals that were harder to kill, did they not used to get like, say, like a rabbit fur coat and then dye it to look like it was a different animal? Or maybe not rabbit, but was that a practice? Have
Mm.
you seen pieces like that?
I would think not as much, just because, again, when this is your one coat, you're sort of not really worried about the fashion of it. You're kind of buying whatever style is sort of in vogue at the time,
Right.
but you're not sort of jumping on a faux versus not faux
Right.
trend, or I'm going to be like a mob wife this year trend, so like I'm
Mm.
going to go buy like a fake leopard coat,
Right.
because currently right now I think it seems like fur is coming back around again,
Mm-hmm. Which also,
I
I think a PSA, like, for people who care about the environment and about animals, buy your real fur from a vintage collection.
yes, people have
God will thank you.
all sorts of opinions about
Mm.
it.
Sure.
So today's polls for trying things on
Yeah.
are coming from my personal collection
Right.
at home. I will let you know if I pulled a selection from the store to try on and talk
I'm gonna
about.
show this from the store.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like I've had a few conversations with people about bed jackets, which I used to have one. Now there's another style of bed jacket that has the same sort of textile. In fact, the one I grew up with was this color with this quilting, but it was cropped. So you see a lot of bed jackets with the sort of cute little sort of princess collar that's got lace. But this one's a nice long one, which is good because I like long things. Stay tuned for our episode about oversized versus what's the other word?
Baggy.
Baggy.
Now, I
So.
cannot advocate this as a coat.
Oh, you can't? You don't think this is a coat?
I can't advocate this as a coat.
I think it's a coat.
because,
Or it's a robe.
I am not a cottagecore girl.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if I consider myself a cottagecore girly either, but
Right. And then it's just sort of like, would you wear that just because it's cool looking, just because you think it's cool looking, but
I
maybe
like-
not you?
I like quilted things.
Oh.
I like anything quilted, really. I'm a
Okay.
quilt fan.
Okay.
I'm a quilt slut.
So that's I go. So I
Excuse
see
me.
what. Okay, before we get into maybe that quilted thing.
But I would like to,
yeah.
like, I like that we have a divergence here in
Yeah.
opinion.
Mhm.
What qualifies as a coat? You go first.
Well, I'm disqualifying this as a coat for me
Okay.
because I
What about
can't-
for the rest of humanity?
I can't support
No?
it because I'm not a cottage core girl.
Okay.
And I discounted it for Adrian because I also know that of her. However, she's just like, oh, I didn't see it that way. I saw it as it being quilted.
Hmm.
And for me, I just saw it as like a beautiful piece that you were drawn to.
Hmm.
But again, if it's not who you are and it's not your style,
Sure.
like, why grab anything as a coat? I didn't get a bunch of faux leopard coats last year just to jump on the bandwagon. I will only ever give you classic coats
Mm.
that will look good on you anytime.
Hmm.
Will I have a selection sometimes of them? Of course I do, because I mean, who doesn't love a leopard print coat?
Mm.
But you know, for me, I'm always more of a, are you going to want to wear that in 5 years as your winter coat?
I mean, obviously, this might not be for winter. It would
Or-
be maybe for spring and early fall.
Right.
I'm not super into like categorizing seasons as long as things are layered in
Or-
a particular
well-
way, or even using lighter fabric in the winter
Sure.
months. But
wear
I
coats
think
all
my
year
personal belief is that anything could be made a coat. I once
Well, anything can be made a coat.
yes.
However, would you want to be wearing that coat 5 years from now? Or are you like, oh, I'm just kind of sick of it. It like struck my fancy for a hot minute.
You're talking in terms of trends, right?
Yeah.
I see. I mean, I think I've had a love of bed jackets since I knew what they were. So my hunch is
mean,
that, yeah.
You don't have to tell me.
I mean, and they are called bed jacket.
I
Jacket is
mean,
in the
oof.
name, so I love a bed
Oof.
jacket.
Yeah,
Um,
who doesn't?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gunning to take this one home someday. But
Don't get me wrong. Like, I love this jacket. Like,
Sure.
don't get me wrong.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, I hear what you're saying, but
love-
you're talking to someone who wore a blanket on the train once.
Mm.
Well, a blanket
Were you
poncho.
hungover?
No, I was at a point where I was like, I had this quilted blanket that had a head hole in it. It's a blanket poncho. People mostly take them to like football games or whatever, but because if you're in New York, you should try wearing something kind of just
Oh.
weird at least once. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear this blanket poncho
I'll show
out.
you.
Yeah.
I have one from the store. It's great.
A blanket poncho? Blanket poncho, blanket poncho, blanket. I should write a song about blanket ponchos. Or not. I guess. What do you got?
Ooh, I love her. So
Look at this shit.
this
Okay,
is
what's
like
the
okay.
story?
So this is in the shop. This is in the
Dude.
shop. This goes with my puffer jacket
How
style.
Is this vintage or it's
So this is vintage now.
okay,
It's not super.
90s?
It's not super old. It's
There
not.
it is. I
It's
love
not super
the sleeves on
super
that.
old, and it's like it's really complicated. Like it's not. I mean, it's not really
love
that
it. Yeah,
complicated,
that's
but
great.
it's very much. Oh, you should have tried this on. This looks dreadful on me.
I think it looks cute on you.
Does it?
Do you
Okay.
feel like you're swimming in it?
No.
I'll try it on
Puffing
gladly.
puffer jackets are not in any way my thing, but if you're going to do it, make sure you do it with
Make
style.
it fashion, yeah.
Make sure you do it with style. Okay, so like there's this one, and you can see this one does this like triangle thing.
Oh, yeah,
We're in
that's
this like
fun.
dressing room, and it's not very long,
Yeah.
but it does this triangle thing, and it's really like got this really great design on it.
I like the sheen on the fabric too.
Right, the sheen
Oh,
on
the
the
hood
fabric.
is great. Yeah. Okay. Well, is it a designer like who? What?
Yeah, it's a little bit fancy.
Yeah.
And so, right, if you're going to do a puffer jacket, you don't have to wear one of those ugly puffer jackets.
Right.
Like, are those
I mean, we all know the jackets that
Basic.
you speak of. Yes.
basic. You
Yes.
don't have to be basic about it.
Right.
Okay, like this is what you're going to wear for the next few months.
Mm.
Like I also have a different one, which again lends itself to, yeah, sure, if you're going to do it, make it be stylish. You're in New York, for God's sake.
I think the other thing with, especially with like, I mean, I know down is becoming less common, I've heard.
Oh.
Just in terms of like clothing production and the quality, plummeting, which we all know. If you don't know, that's what's happening. But I think, what about for the New Yorker who's trying to save a little bit of money but still wants to, this is great. She's
So
great.
again, puffer jackets. You have it. It's got some style to it. Like you don't. Again, this is not my style.
Right.
So, and I think
I love it. I actually love it with the wig. I mean, I know that's your real hair because that's your persona, but
Right.
anyway, yeah.
like it's got style. It comes down. It's fitted. It's got these puff sleeves. It's got these quiltingness to it. It's got a style to it.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to be basic about your coats. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean,
That's
it just
great.
never,
I love
right?
that.
And this
Yeah.
is like a great puffer jacket that, like, again, I doubt that's
And I
real
mean,
down.
is that down?
It could be.
It might be down. I mean, you're more likely, again, if you buy your quilted or puffer jackets from a vintage collector, you're more likely to have 100% down feathers in
Right.
your jacket. They're stuffing
And
things with God knows what now. So
oh my God, like,
Yeah.
isn't it? Well, so yeah. So back to the fur
microplastics
conversation.
probably. Yeah.
So back to the fur conversation.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't know if
Yeah.
they can hear you. We'll wait until you come back. No. Okay.
so back to
Yeah.
the fur. So
Okay,
those
so this
those
one's
last two coats were from the store. This one's my personal collection.
That's beautiful.
And so
yeah.
back to the fur conversation of what are
Right.
things being stuffed with versus like what are things not being stuffed with
Mm.
and what are things being made out of. And I hear lots of conversations in different like groups that I'm a part of, oh, where can I get something that's like a fake monkey fur or fake this fur or
What
fake
does
that fur?
fake monkey fur even look like?
No,
I don't think I know what
not
real
that,
monkey
not
fur
even
looks
what
like.
it looks like. You know what it is?
Huh.
It's plastic. It's
Oh.
this
Any faux fur
composite,
is going to be made.
right?
Yeah.
It's this
Mhm.
composite that's literally not going to disintegrate into
Right.
the world ever. Like
Right.
whatever fur jacket you buy that's polyester and new
Mhm.
is literally going to be around forever.
It will outlive you for sure. And
Now,
probably,
I'm
yeah.
not advocating that anybody should go out and like support the fur trade
Right.
industry
Right,
as
right.
it stands now
Hmm.
because it's not great.
No.
You really have to know. You really have to do your research
Mhm.
down the line
Right.
for everything.
Right.
Okay. What I am advocating for, though, is wearing fur.
Wearing vintage or secondhand fur, yes.
I mean,
I'm advocating for vintage or secondhand fur. I don't buy fur new.
It's
but that's
warm.
yeah. It
It's
is really warm.
warm.
Can I tell you a fur
It's
jacket story?
warm.
There was I went to a New Year's Eve party once on a rooftop, and it was one of those Januaries where it was really, really fucking cold in the city. And this fabulous drag queen was throwing the party, and we were going to go up to her roof. But first, she went into her closet and was just throwing vintage fur coats at all of us. And so it was the first time I'd really worn a real fur coat, like
Oh,
that was 100% fur, and it really does
it really does
keep you warm. Yes. So
Like,
yes,
There's a reason it's there. There's a reason it's there.
if you can get a fur coat from a drag queen, that's what I say.
Like, you should always be getting your fur coats from drag queens.
That's yeah, I think that's the rule. That's number one. Yeah.
Yeah, this one I got in Japan for $40.
I love the do you know what animal this is?
This is it's a baby lamb. It's
Oh,
yeah, it's lamb.
okay. It's beautiful. That
Oh,
that chocolate.
I
chocolate brown
have a thing for
lamb.
lamb coats.
Oh, you do?
I have a thing for lamb
I
coats.
didn't even know they made coats.
Oh,
out of
yeah,
lamb.
this is-
Or wait,
mhm.
what's the difference between lamb and shearling? Shearling
So
sheep.
this is like it's skin versus like knitted sort of together. and it's just-
Got
yeah.
it.
So anyways,
Okay.
it's just, it's not really great, but it's,
Yeah.
it was already made for lots and lots of years.
Yeah.
But I tend to get really, really cold, so
run
I
cold.
am not.
Got us.
I'm not
Sorry.
one to shy away from fur. Fun fact about New York:
Yes.
if it's on the endangered species list, you are not allowed to sell it. And
interesting.
yeah,
That's good,
other states have a vintage law
yeah.
that if it's over so many years old, you're allowed to sell it, but not in New York.
Interesting.
So they're no longer on the endangered species list, but I have this beautiful ocelot cape with a matching hat.
I love a cape.
Oof.
Now, is a cape a coat?
Yeah, there's many ways that people I think are not really thinking about this in a logical way, and I'll
Okay.
go maybe style how you can style a cape.
Okay.
But
Maybe
let me
we
tell
could
you
do a whole episode on capes, because
Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
it's not just for superheroes.
Not just capes are not
I
just for
think we're
superheroes.
going to wrap it up right now.
Yeah.
I'm spent on my opinions of coats in New York, but
I think, yeah, I mean, get the few that really tell a story. Is
jackets
what
really
it's,
can tell a story,
Mm-hmm.
and why not let them?
Yeah.
They want to.
Every single
Yeah.
coat I've tried on has a story, and I will show you as wrapping up,
Mhm.
like my sort of go-to coat that if I could, I would just wear this one every day as mine.
I'll go ahead and tell my camel coat story. I guess it's not much of a story, but when I first moved to New York, I was working at a certain place that I wouldn't recommend anyone have to work at, but it was a one of those second tier retails where it came from the big department store. You can kind of infer, I'm talking like Marshalls, like Ross, but it wasn't either of those. Anyway, I was there, this is great, early in the morning one shift, and this camel coat just came onto the floor, and it looked like it had been tailored to my body, and it was only $30, and I still have it.
Done.
But you know, a camel coat really is and I don't, they don't actually kill the camel, do they, for the camel coat? They just take the fur and they weave it, right?
Color.
Oh, I thought it was made of, because like on the inside of the coat it says 100% camel.
Oh, maybe.
I think they take the little fibers from their little bodies. I mean, camels are large, but I think that they do.
I could be
I'll
wrong
look
about
it up.
this.
I'm
We'll
not sure.
have to do
Anyway,
some
you've got some
research.
corduroy.
Anyway, so like this would be the coat. This would be this is my
Yeah.
coat again, and it's
Love it.
corduroy. And
You should
it's
turn
this
around
like
and show the collar. I love the popped.
tomato.
Yeah, that's
it's
tomato,
like this
yeah.
tomato red color.
that's great.
And essentially like this is the coat I would live in if it was warm enough for all year round. In New York.
Right. There are some days where you can't.
I mean, I do have a
Canada.
Canada Goose.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was bought for me as a present. And
There we go. That's fine.
It's
It's okay. You
it's
can't say
fine.
no to a gifted coat.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Okay.
And let me tell you,
It will keep
it's
you warm
worth-
in any kind of weather.
it's
Yeah.
worth every penny.
It could
they do
save your life if
charge
you were out in
for
the
it.
tundras.
It is.
Yeah.
Really ungodly warm.
I believe you.
It's.
Okay,
I
well,
really do love it.
I guess we're signing off for now.
This concludes our jackets episode of What Are You Wearing? See you next time.
Okay.
I'm Velma from Velma Vintage.
I'm Adrian from Wisen Services.
Okay. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
We should check